Hi, fifth graders. So, Ms. Burke likes to run. And while I was running and checking out my Nike Plus app, because I use it every time I run to track how fast I'm running and how many miles I've ran, I noticed decimals in it. So, even though I love running, I love sharing math in the real world with you even more. So, I came up with an idea of giving you access to my running data via Nike Plus app so that you can better understand the use of decimals. So this screencast is just going to show you the basic features of this app. Together in class, we'll look more in detail about all the data you can actually find in this app. I do want to remind you before we get started that this is Ms. Burke's personal data. You will be signed in under me. So with that, please be respectful. Do not leave comments on anywhere that you can or share this data out through Facebook or Twitter. And don't go shopping in the Nike store because you can do all of that through this app. And I really don't want you to do that. So let me show you the basics of what you're going to be asked to do. You'll have lots of tasks during this decimal unit where you'll be asked to use the information found in the Nike Plus app. Right here is where you can change all the data points for my yearly runs, the month, the week. Most likely you're going to stick to the month. Again, it depends on your task at hand, what I'm asking you to do. Just make sure you read the directions carefully so that you know exactly what to do. For example, if it says pick a month that has at least 4 runs, you'll want to check that out. For example, this is the month of April, and I had 14 runs with an average of 6 8/10 of a mile per run. If you switch the arrows, it'll change the month. In May, I only ran twice. And in June, I had 6 runs. So, for example, in April with my 14 runs, those 14 runs are going to be represented by 14 green bars found down here at the bottom. Each bar is a data point. And if you hover over the green bar, you'll notice that will tell you the distance of that run. So, for example, Ms. Burke ran 26 20/100ths of a mile here on the 26th of April. If you were to click on it, it'll show you my actual run, the running route that I took, but I want you to pay a little close attention to it. Because although this is very cool, and I like seeing it too, watching myself run there, if you notice at the end of my run, it'll tell me that I ran 4 9/10 of a mile. So that's what it says on the running route. However, if you go back to the bar graph, I actually ran 4 92/100ths of a mile. So if you click on the actual running route, it only takes you to the 10th of a mile. And I want you to be exact. So that's why I'd like for you to not click on it, but rather just hover over the green bars. That way you can get the exact mileage up to the 100ths of a mile. Now, there will be some runs, for example, the 11th, where the graph is actually, or the data point is actually hidden behind the graph and you can't see it. If that's the case, then yes, you may go ahead and click on the bar and just use the route, the distance to the 10th of a mile. I'd prefer that you are exact and use up to the 100ths of a mile if possible, but in this case, we weren't able to see it. So then you would just use up to the 10th, which right here shows you that I ran 13 2/10 of a mile on that day. That's basically it. Like I said, depending on the assignment that you're asked to do, it may ask you to do some other things. It may ask you to look at some other parts of the data. For example, comparing months. And here we've got days as a week breakdown, time of day, I ran the most, lots of data on here. We will look at it together in class, but be very cognizant of what I'm asking you to do per assignment. And just another reminder that this is my own personal data, so please be respectful. Don't share it. Don't go shopping or anything else like that. Thank you.